As you know, I love bringing in guests and discussing about whatever with them here on TATIANATHYME. Today I brought in a very special guest who I'll be interviewing and discussing about ... because you'll be finding out later on here on this very episode. Enjoy! Hi everybody, welcome back to TATIANATHYME. Today I'm here with...
Oh, sorry. Oh my god, I got distracted. Hi, I'm Dream, and today I'm just gonna be answering a few questions about having a job as a teenager, and yeah.
Okay. So, I know that, like, having a job at this age isn't, like, really easy.
Mhm.
So, like, what was your first job like?
Well, my first job was at Wendy's, so it was a fast food job, and for your first job, especially as a teenager, it's difficult because it's like if you're not used to a fast-paced environment, I really don't think that it would be for you. But what it was like for me, it wasn't too bad the first couple of weeks. It wasn't the job itself that kind of made me leave. It was more of like the manager and how they did things. So yeah, for me personally, it wasn't too bad. You just had to get used to things. And yeah.
And, like, what were the advantages and disadvantages of having a job?
Well, one advantage would obviously be like the money, I feel like.
Yes.
And also, if you're someone like me who like stays in the house all the time, it's, having somewhere to go, like actually doing something productive, being on your feet and stuff like that. Um, and another advantage would also be like getting to meet new people. Um, and also, I know it's just like a fast food job, but for me, it really, there are times where I was happy to finally like, because I know how it feels when you're hungry as hell and you just go somewhere wanting to eat. So it made me feel happy to like do that for people and just serve people. But the disadvantages, like for me personally, was like bad management. So that can really ruin the whole experience for you if you just have like a horrible manager. What's another disadvantage? I'm trying to think. Well, it's a fast food restaurant, so you're obviously not going to get paid for
Mm-hmm.
like, as much as you should for how much you do. There are times where I've had to work like 8 hours because someone else didn't clock in.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and of course it's standing on your feet the whole day too.
Mm-hmm.
Rude customers, like I already mentioned, bad management, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh, another advantage is also free food. I forgot to add that.
But with the disadvantages, like, that must be a lot to take in,
Hmm.
especially at this age, especially like, experiencing with like rude customers,
Right.
especially, and just like I feel like that doesn't really give you like a good headspace.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like, if I feel like it differs from person to person, but if it's someone who over worries, like if you overthink like me, you're obviously, it wasn't even the rude customer. Sometimes it would be where I would go home upset and I'd like think about it the whole week. And then that obviously just, like you don't want to go to work, you don't look forward to it, da da
Mm-hmm.
da da. And then yeah, it just kind of ruins the whole experience. And I feel like if it keeps on going like that, you're just gonna want to quit. You're not gonna want to go anymore.
Right. Wow. I'm so sorry that happened.
Oh no, it's okay.
Yeah, I think that also what's kind of important is like, looking out for ourselves, especially mentally,
Yeah,
because it's like, right, we can't really like function during a job if we're like not doing too well.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. And I agree. That's why I felt that it was better to quit, because I felt like, this is just a fast food job. I should not go home worrying about it every day, like literally dreading to go to work. Like I'm personally not just built for that, and I don't need the income. So it was like, why torture myself basically? And that might seem
Mm-hmm.
a little over dramatic for other people, but for me, it's just like, like mental health wise, I felt like it wasn't worth just being upset like at all. And yeah, like I said before too, I didn't depend on the income that I had gotten from there. So for me, it was just really like, no, I don't need this job. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like, no, I don't think you're being over dramatic. Like, your story, like your experiences shouldn't be invalidated. Like, this
Mhm.
is your truth. And like, I know, yeah, probably a lot of people, experience this too, like with jobs. That's what I'm so afraid of in the workplace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like also, but just like if you start working as a teenager, I feel like wherever you go, people are gonna feel like whatever manager it is, whatever like your boss, they're gonna feel like sometimes they can talk crazy to you and treat you whatever
Mm.
way you want just because you're a teenager. And that's kind of what happened to me too. And for me, it made me really, really angry because it's like, I put in as much work as anybody else, if not more. So why am I getting treated like this and why am I being talked about like this? Like it made me really upset. So that's also something that you have to um be aware of is that you
Mm-hmm.
might not get the same treatment as everybody else. So yeah.
Mm. Wow, and like overall that's not okay because I feel like there should be like mutual respect and like if your manager,
Definitely.
right, if your
Yeah.
own like boss is not giving you that, then right, I would have like got off like quit because it's like
Right.
you're not about to disrespect me.
Exactly. At the end of the day, I'm working for you. Like, yeah, I feel like it's a situation where you you need me more than I need you, especially right now
Mhm.
with how nobody really wants to take fast food jobs and like how they're literally paying some people just to interview. So it's like you think that you're gonna talk to me crazy when no, no ma'am. It's just not gonna work.
Mm-mm. And is the pressure like how is the pressure at this age with having a job and like also kind of like resigning? Like does it like kind of like does society or your close ones pressure you into having a job?
Yeah, so actually I feel like um hmm. I feel like in to I feel like it's more of when you see other people getting other people your age getting jobs, and you just see them making money, and it's like, and sometimes where you feel like a bum, or you feel like, damn, like I'm just in the house all the time, like I should be doing something too. I should be getting money, and sometimes, well, for me that was my experience, but um, sometimes it's your parents too, where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, you complain about being in the house all the time, like go outside, get a job, maybe da 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 da. But yeah, I just sometimes it's not even peer pressure. It's just when you see everybody else like having something going for them, it kind of makes you feel like, damn, like maybe I should actually start interviewing and just signing up or whatever, filling out applications. It just makes you feel like that. And I actually feel like most of the time, well, I don't know, my experience most of the time, it's not the parents, it's more of the kids seeing other people getting jobs at their age and wanting to do the same and make money.
Mm-hmm. And like I feel the same way, especially like I know unrelated, but like especially with having a permit,
Yeah.
because right, like I feel like it's so embarrassing at this age, like like being
Yeah.
16 and not having a permit and seeing everybody else like having. I'm like, dang,
Yeah,
like I have to
definitely.
catch up.
Right. And it's because everybody's, yeah, it's just the age where it's like you're not grown, but you have to start doing grown things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when you see people do them before you, kind of, it kind of makes you like not upset, but kind of like you feel bad about yourself because you're like, that should be me. I should be doing more. Like, why am I not doing enough?
Mm-hmm. And like, does your job like affect your daily life as a teenager?
It definitely did, but not sometimes it wasn't necessarily in a negative way because, like I said before, I was just happy to get at the house and do something productive, that benefited me because at the end of the day, I was getting money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way it affected it is like, of course, having to get dropped off of work and do what I need to do. Um, yeah, I would say it's probably different for other people because I stay in the house like all the time, and it wasn't a bad experience for me having to like go out. But maybe for other people it's like they have to balance work life with activities or like meeting up with friends or whatever else they need to do. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And I feel um like after you quit, how
Mhm.
do you feel now? Like do you have much more free time? You can socialize more. You're not like kind of like not really like cooped up, but like you can
Mhm.
still be like active.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually think that's one of the things that I stopped taking for granted once I kind of quit was just like I felt like I always complained about being alone, but it's like I kind of realized, damn, I like my own company and I like, not necessarily not being productive, but
Mhm.
having my own alone time and trying to just basically being on my own time. Like if I want to do something productive, I don't want it to be so stressful. I want it to be enjoyable, like going out for a walk or giving my cat a bath. I don't know, just anything. I want it to be on my
Mhm.
own time. I want to plan it myself.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Right, as you should. And like I feel
Mhm.
like teens today should like have a bit more freedom because like
Mhm.
as individuals we're still learning so much in this world.
Right.
Right, and like I feel like, some of us are like growing up too fast and like that's what I feel like I'm
Definitely.
doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I completely agree. Um yeah, I think that was really well said with the whole, everybody's growing up too quickly. Um, I don't know, sometimes I feel like that doesn't necessarily correlate with jobs because, it's people that have to start working from such a young, or maybe that is part of growing up too fast because you shouldn't have to be like 14, 15 worrying about a job. I don't even think you're legally allowed to do that at that point, to be
Right.
honest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, and I also thought about like, because there's a lot of teens these days that go into the workplace like really early because of like financial issues
Yeah.
with their
Yeah.
family, right? To support their family or to support themselves.
Yeah, that's the thing, cause like I said before, where I was like, I wasn't financially dependent on the job that I had. So for me, it was easy to just drop everything and say I quit. But for other people, even my age, it might not be that easy because they might play a really big part in their families, like financial status, or they might play a big part in the bills and taking care of the house. So they might not have the same option to just quit that I do. So that's something I also kind of took a step back and said, like, I have this privilege and I should acknowledge that and not take it for granted.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely agree. And like I feel like to me at the moment, I feel like that there's a lot of things I should do because I feel like I'm not prepared at the moment to have a job.
Mhm.
Right, cuz
Yeah.
like cuz like we're going into school and like, becoming juniors and I feel like I'm going to be stressed out like next year because of like SATs and like all this and that. So I'm
Mhm.
feel like okay, like how am I going to jam in like, homework if I'm like at work, just doing all these things. I can't like just live in that
Right.
kind of like stress. I can't do
Yeah. And I think that's definitely something that you should consider too before even applying is like, am I gonna be ready for this job, like, to actually, because I feel like for me, when I started applying, I was, like, so excited, like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be my first job, da da da," but, you have to be more realistic, especially like you said, we're going into junior year, and it's not an easy year at all with college applications and everything, so if I feel like if you can't handle the load of everything, then you shouldn't get something that's like that you have to work like 5 to 8 hours a day. That's obviously not going to be realistic, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah.
Mhm. That's true. And so, what would you say, to the teens that like currently have jobs or currently don't?
So the ones that have jobs, I really salute you. You are one of our strongest soldiers because I know how, especially fast food jobs, because I know how hard it is to just even get up and go to work sometimes and deal with the customers, and maybe if you're not a homebody like me, like even balance your work life with going out with your friends or your activities, like whatever you do. And to the teens that don't have jobs, like, I'm proud of you too, because you know it's really, at this age, it's not for everyone and not everyone can do it. So yeah, whenever you're ready, if you're not, that's fine too.
Mhm. This was so fun. Thank you so much. Like,
Of course. Thank you so much for having me on here. I really enjoyed it.
of course. Well, just closing. Thank you guys for listening to Tatiana Time. This was
Dream. Talking about,
Yes.
yeah, fast food jobs, whatever.
Well, bye, bestie.
Okay, bye.